Welcome to Monk's Temple. If you've ever settled into a quiet room, taken what you thought was a calming breath, and closed your eyes to meditate, only to be met not with peace but with a sudden, startling rush of thoughts, a loud committee suddenly in session, this is for you. If the inner landscape, when you turn your gaze inward, feels more like a stormy sea than a placid lake, please understand something crucial. This is not a sign that you are broken or that meditation is not for you. It is a sign that you may need a different door into the practice. The beautiful, often overlooked truth within the Buddhist tradition is that the path to mindfulness does not require retreating from the world. It can be walked with your eyes wide open, meeting the world as it is, and in that meeting, finding a profound and unshakable calm. Today, we explore that door. This is Eyes Open Meditation, a practice deeply rooted in the core principles of the Buddhist teachings, yet perfectly suited for those who find the darkness behind closed eyelids an unsettling place. We are going to reorder the journey of meditation itself. Instead of moving from the outer world to an inner silence, we will learn to find the silence within the outer world. We will use the very things you see, the light on a wall, the shape of a chair, the dance of dust in a sunbeam, as the anchors for a mind that seeks rest but finds unrest in forced solitude. This is not a compromise, it is a direct route to the heart of mindfulness, or sati, which means to remember to be present, right here, with what is. Let's begin with a story. It's not from an ancient scripture, but from a modern life, one that might feel familiar. A woman named Clara came to the temple feeling like a failure. Every meditation app, every yoga class finale, instructed her to close her eyes. And every time she did, it was as if a dam broke. A torrent of to-do lists, unresolved arguments, and vague anxieties about the future would crash through her intended peace. She described it as feeling claustrophobic in her own mind. We didn't ask her to close her eyes. Instead, we sat in the garden. I asked her to simply look at a single rose. Don't analyze it, I said. Don't think about its name, its color, even its beauty. Just let the visual impression of the rose come to you. See it as a pattern of light and shadow, shape and hue. Her eyes remained open, taking in the vibrant, thorny detail of the flower. After 10 minutes, she wept. Not from sadness, but from relief. The thoughts were still there, she said, but they were like noise in another room. I was here, with this rose. And it was enough. Clara's experience touches on a core Buddhist psychological insight: the mind, or citta, often needs a gentle task. Without an anchor, it drifts into the past and future, which are the primary sources of our suffering, our dukkha. By giving it the simple, present moment task of receptive seeing, we ground it in the only place where peace is ever available, the here and now. If Clara's story resonates with you, if you too have felt that meditation was a battle against your own thoughts, consider subscribing to Monk's Temple. Here, we explore every path to inner peace, especially the ones less traveled. Your subscription supports this community and allows us to share these practices. Now, let's understand why this works. The Buddha's path is one of understanding the nature of our experience. A foundational teaching is the practice of mindfulness of the body. This isn't about ignoring the world, it's about feeling the body within the world. When we close our eyes, for some, the connection to the bodily sense can become abstract, mental, even dissociated. Eyes open meditation keeps us firmly, safely, in the realm of the senses. We are practicing right where we are. We are not seeking to escape the sensory world but to relate to it differently. The problem, as the Buddha taught, is not with sight itself, but with our habitual reaction to what we see. The craving for pleasant sights, the aversion to unpleasant ones, the delusion that what we see is permanent and solid. Our practice is to interrupt that chain reaction at the very first link, the moment of seeing. So, let me offer you a new metaphor. Imagine your awareness is a pond. The classic meditation approach is to try to still the pond by removing all input, no wind, no pebbles, no ripples. For many, this feels impossible. The very attempt creates more ripples of frustration. The eyes open approach is different. We acknowledge the wind. We see the pebbles falling. We allow the ripples. But instead of focusing on the disturbances on the surface, we learn to look through the water. We become interested in the quality of the water itself, clear, receptive, allowing all movements to arise and pass within its depth. The world you see is the play of light and shadow on the surface. Your practice is to be the clear, deep water beneath it. You are not shutting out the world. You are deepening your capacity to hold it without being churned by it. This shifts the goal from control to understanding, from suppression to wise relationship. It is a direct application of the middle way the Buddha taught, avoiding the extreme of sensual indulgence, getting lost in what we see, and the extreme of sensual austerity, trying to shut it all off. We take the middle path of mindful observation. Your eyes are open. You are safe. You are already home. You just need to learn how to inhabit the space you are in. Let's try a very brief practice together, right now, as you listen. Find a point in your environment to rest your gaze upon. It could be a corner of a bookshelf, a lampshade, a plant. Now, I want you to soften your focus. Let your eyes relax, as if you're looking through a gentle haze. Allow the sharp edges to blur just a little. Become aware not just of the object, but of the space around it. See the light falling on it. Notice colors and shapes without naming them. Just receive the visual information. A thought will come. That's fine. Notice that you are now both seeing and thinking. Gently, without any judgment, see if you can let the primary anchor be the visual experience. Let the thought be a silent movie playing in the background. Return to the soft gaze. Breathe. And just see. For these next few moments, there is nowhere to go, nothing to fix. Only this receptive, open-eyed presence. This soft gaze is your foundational tool. It is a gaze of kindness, not of scrutiny. It is how we begin to disentangle the raw experience of seeing from the web of stories, judgments, and reactions we usually spin around it. In the framework of Buddhism, this is the beginning of vipassana, clear seeing. We are clearing away the clouds of our conditioned responses to see the nature of reality itself, which is right before our eyes. Let's continue. That soft gaze we just practiced is more than a technique, it is a reorientation of your entire relationship with your own mind. Often, when we try to meditate with eyes closed, we are inadvertently putting our awareness into a room with no windows and then asking it to sit still. For a mind prone to anxiety or vivid imagery, that room can quickly feel like a prison. Eyes open meditation simply opens the windows. It allows the mind to remember it is part of a larger, spacious world. The psychological relief this brings is immense because it aligns with our biology. We are wired to be alert to our environment. When we honor that wiring by allowing soft, receptive awareness of our surroundings, the nervous system can actually settle more deeply than when we force it into a sensory deprivation it interprets as a potential threat. This brings us to a core Buddhist principle that is the silent engine of this practice, anicca, or impermanence. Everything you see is in a state of constant, subtle change. The light in the room shifts minute by minute. The dust motes dance in an unseen air current. The leaves on a tree outside your window are never, not for a single millisecond, perfectly still. When you practice eyes-open meditation, you are not staring at static objects. You are receiving a live stream of impermanence. This is a profound teaching. Your mind, which suffers because it clings to things and wants them to be permanent, is being given a direct, gentle, and unavoidable lesson in letting go. You are learning to find peace not by holding on to stillness, but by relaxing into the fluid, changing nature of all you behold. I want to share another story, this one about a man named Ben who was a freelance writer. He worked from home, and his anxiety manifested as a need for absolute control over his environment. Any clutter, any noise, would derail him. He came to me describing a state of constant, low-grade panic. His meditation attempts were battles against distraction. I suggested something that seemed counterintuitive, to practice in the messiest corner of his home office. Set a timer for 5 minutes, I said. Sit, eyes open, and just look at the pile of papers, the tangled cables, the coffee mug from 3 days ago. Don't try to clean it. Don't judge it. Just see it. See the shapes, the shadows, the textures. Let it all be exactly as it is. The first time, he felt physically agitated. But by the third day, something shifted. He reported, the pile started to look less like a problem I'm avoiding and more like, just a collection of shapes. The urgency around it faded. It was just stuff in light. This is the power of what in Buddhism is called asava, or the ceasing of the influxes of craving and aversion. Ben didn't change the clutter. He changed his relationship to seeing the clutter. By meeting his aversion with soft gaze awareness, he dissolved its power. Now, let's build on our foundation. We move from a single point of soft gaze to what we can call panoramic awareness. This is where the practice becomes deeply liberating. Instead of choosing one object, you let your softened gaze expand to take in your entire field of vision, everything from left to right, top to bottom. You are not focusing on any of it. You are allowing all of it. The cup to your left, the window ahead, the shadow on the right, the movement of your own chest as you breathe, it all exists equally in this wide, receptive awareness. This trains the mind in non-preference, a cornerstone of equanimity, or upekkha. You are practicing letting the world be exactly as it is, without needing to grab onto the pleasant parts or push away the unpleasant ones. They are all simply appearing in the awareness that you are. Think of it like this. Your usual way of seeing is like being a spotlight operator in a dark theater, frantically pointing the beam at one actor, then another, missing the entire stage and set. Panoramic awareness is turning on the house lights. Suddenly, you see the whole stage, the actors, the props, the backdrop, the dusty floorboards. It's all there, held in one cohesive view. The frantic effort of the spotlight operator ceases. In the same way, your mind's compulsive habit of latching onto one thought after another begins to settle when you give it the entire sensory field to rest in. There's nothing to chase because you're already holding everything. This practice connects directly to the Buddhist teachings on the 6 sense bases. We are not shutting down the sense base of sight, we are purifying our relationship with it. We are placing a mindful guard at the gate of the eye, so that when visual contact occurs, it is met with wisdom, not with automatic craving or aversion. You are learning to be present at the very point where the world makes contact with you. This is where freedom is won, not by withdrawing from life, but by transforming your moment-to-moment experience of it. Let me give you a metaphor I often use at Monk's Temple. Imagine your mind is a host at a large, ongoing party. Normally, you are a frantic host, running from guest to guest, thought to thought, sight to sight, engaging deeply with each one, getting pulled into every drama. It's exhausting. Eyes open panoramic meditation is the practice of learning to be the host who stands calmly by the doorway, warmly greeting each guest as they arrive, acknowledging their presence, but then letting them move into the party on their own. You see the loud guest, a disturbing thought. The beautiful guest, a pleasant sight, the boring guest, the blank wall. You greet them all with the same gentle nod. You are aware of the entire room, but you are not lost in any single conversation. You are at peace because you are not trying to control the party, you are simply providing the spacious, welcoming room in which it happens. We can practice this right now. Wherever you are, let your eyes relax completely. Drop any specific focus. Let your visual field become wide and open. Take in the whole scene in front of you, above you, to the sides, as a single, flowing picture. Don't label parts of it as computer or wall. Just let it be a tapestry of color, light, form, and shadow. Notice how the urge to focus on one thing arises. That's the spotlight operator wanting to get back to work. Gently thank that urge and return to the wide-angle lens of the house lights. Breathe into this panoramic seeing. There is nothing to do but to allow. The world is presenting itself to you. Your only task is to receive it, softly, fully, without selection. This panoramic awareness is a taste of the boundless mind the Buddha described. It is a mind that is not confined by objects but is vast enough to contain them all. Every time you practice this, you are stretching the boundaries of your own consciousness, moving from being a prisoner of your reactions to being the peaceful, spacious awareness in which all of life unfolds. Panoramic awareness is the spacious ground. Now, let's explore how we walk on that ground in daily life. For the true test of any practice is not in the quiet moments we carve out, but in the fluid, often chaotic stream of our ordinary day. This is where eyes open meditation reveals its greatest gift. It is inherently portable. You don't need a special cushion or a silent room. Your practice is literally everywhere you look. Let's begin with one of the most fundamental human actions, walking. The walking gaze practice. As you walk, whether from your kitchen to your living room, or down a bustling city street, you can meditate. Drop your gaze softly, about 4 to 6 feet ahead of you on the ground. Don't stare at your feet. Let your focus be soft, taking in the panorama of the path or floor ahead as a flowing river of texture and color. Feel the sensations in your body, the lift, the movement, the placement of your foot, and see the world moving in relation to you. Your mind will want to race ahead to your destination. Notice that. See that thought as a signpost you are passing on your walk. You acknowledge the sign, but you don't stop to live there. You return to the sensations of walking and the soft visual flow of the ground. This is Kinhin, walking meditation, seamlessly woven into your life. You are not walking to get somewhere else, you are walking to be fully present in the walking itself. Now, consider a more challenging environment. A place of waiting. A doctor's office, a slow-moving line, a commute on a train or bus. This is fertile ground for practice. Instead of pulling out your phone to escape the boredom or anxiety, try ambient seeing. Let your gaze rest lightly on the middle distance. Allow the entire scene, the other people, the furniture, the posters on the wall, to simply exist in your awareness. Don't create stories about them. See them as temporary formations of shape and color sharing this moment in space with you. The man tapping his foot is not an impatient person, he is a movement of energy and sound. The flickering fluorescent light is not an annoyance, it is a dance of unstable illumination. You are practicing Yoniso Manasikara, or wise attention, redirecting your mind from its narrative habit to the bare reality of the present sensory field. This transforms waiting from a state of lack into a state of rich, observational fullness. I recall a student named David, a project manager who spent his days in back-to-back video calls. He felt fragmented, overstimulated, and unable to focus. His practice became what he called the 60-second reset. Between calls, he would turn away from his screen, look out his office window, and for 1 single minute, practice panoramic awareness of the sky. He didn't look for birds or planes. He just opened his gaze to the vastness of the sky itself, the color, the clouds as passing forms, the sheer space. He said that minute of open-eyed, sky-gazing meditation did more to reset his nervous system than any deep breath with eyes closed ever had. It gave his mind literal and figurative space. This is a direct application of the Buddhist concept of akasa, or space, one of the fundamental elements. By gazing into physical space, we create mental space. This leads us to a beautiful and profound practice, mirror meditation. Sit before a mirror, in a moment of privacy. Adopt your soft gaze. Look at your own reflection. The instinct will be to immediately engage in critique or analysis, to see the flaws, the tiredness, the aging. The practice is to see past the story. Look at your reflection as if it is the face of a beloved friend, or even a stranger. See the play of light on the skin. Notice the colors, the shapes, the expressions as they flicker and change. When a critical thought arises, I look old, see that thought as a subtitle over the image. Return to the raw visual data, the curve of a cheek, the reflection of light in an eye. This practice intimately teaches anatta, or not self. You are seeing an image, a temporary collection of attributes dependent on light, angle, and condition. It is an appearance. By meeting that appearance with gentle, non-judgmental awareness, you loosen the tight identification with the story of a fixed, solid self that must be judged. It is one of the most compassionate practices you can do for yourself. Let me share another original story. A renowned chef, Elena, found her mind was always in the next step, the next dish, the next service. Her creativity felt burnt out. I suggested she practice while chopping vegetables. As you chop the carrots, I said, let your eyes softly receive the vibrant orange color. See the repetitive motion of your knife not as a task to finish, but as a rhythmic dance. Watch the pieces fall away, each one slightly different. She later told me that this simple shift, engaging a soft, meditative gaze on the very ingredients she worked with, transformed her work from a high-pressure performance into a flowing, artistic ceremony. She said, I stopped making food and started communing with color and form. The stress evaporated. In Buddhist terms, she moved from bhava, the frenzy of becoming, to simply being with the Dharma, the truth, of the carrot in front of her. These practices all build towards what we might call integrated awareness. This is where your eyes open practice matures. It is no longer a discrete exercise you do for 10 minutes. It becomes the underlying way you meet the visual world. You find yourself automatically softening your gaze in a stressful meeting, taking in the whole room panoramically to stay grounded. You catch the stunning sunset, and instead of just snapping a photo, you pause for 3 breaths of pure, soft gaze reception, letting the beauty saturate you without the mental commentary. You notice your child's face, and for a moment, you see not your son, but the miraculous, ever-changing play of life and expression in front of you, and your heart floods with a love that is free from clinging. This is the promise of the path the Buddha laid out. Freedom is found in the midst of the conditioned world, not by fleeing from it. By training your eyes to see with mindfulness, you are training your heart to meet all of life with wisdom and compassion. Your open eyes become not a distraction from presence, but its very gateway. We've built a foundation of soft gaze and panoramic awareness, and we've begun to weave it into the fabric of daily life. Now, let's address what happens when the visual field is not peaceful, when what you see triggers not boredom or simple distraction, but real discomfort, anxiety, or even fear. This is where the practice moves from being a pleasant technique to a profound path of liberation. For it is easy to be mindful of a beautiful sunset. The true test, and the true freedom, comes in learning to be mindful of the storm. The Buddhist framework gives us clear guidance here through the teaching of the 5 hindrances. These are mental states that obstruct meditation: sensual desire, ill will, sloth and torpor, restlessness and worry, and doubt. In eyes-open meditation, these hindrances don't disappear, they often appear as what we see, or more accurately, as our reactive story about what we see. Your practice now deepens. You learn to see the hindrance itself, not as a monster to defeat, but as a temporary weather pattern in the sky of your awareness. Let's take a common one: restlessness and worry. You sit to practice, eyes open, gazing softly at a candle. But your mind is agitated, replaying an argument. The flame becomes blurry, you're not really seeing it. The traditional instruction is to note restlessness, and return to the breath. In eyes-open practice, you have another tool. You acknowledge the inner turbulence, and then you deliberately widen your panoramic gaze. You take in the entire room, the walls, the ceiling, the space itself. You let the restlessness be there, but you place it within this vast container of visual space. You are not fighting the feeling, you are giving it a bigger field to play in, so it loses its oppressive intensity. Often, the physical act of opening the visual field directly counteracts the claustrophobic feeling of anxiety. Now, consider ill will or aversion. Perhaps you are practicing in a public park, and someone litters nearby. A surge of anger arises. Your jaw tightens. In this moment, your eyes-open practice is to first feel the anger in your body, the heat, the tension, and then, to gently bring your soft gaze to the litter itself. Look at it without the story of that irresponsible person. See it as a composition of color and form on the grass. See the light glinting off the plastic wrapper. This is not passive acceptance of littering, it is the active disempowerment of the anger that is poisoning you. By separating the raw visual data from the narrative of blame, you reclaim your inner peace. You can then choose to act, perhaps picking up the litter, from a place of calm responsibility, not reactive hatred. This is the embodiment of karuna, compassion, which must be rooted in a mind clear of its own destructive emotions. Let me share a story from the archives of Monk's Temple. A young lawyer, Amir, had severe road rage. The mere sight of a driver cutting him off would send him into a spiral of fury that ruined his hour. His practice was to use his commute as his meditation hall. He placed a small, smooth stone on his dashboard. When a triggering event occurred, instead of reacting, he would briefly shift his soft gaze to the stone. Its immutable, solid, simple presence became an anchor. He would feel the rage in his body, see the aggressive car with his peripheral vision, and hold his primary, gentle attention on the stone. It was like creating a still point in a hurricane, he said. The stone didn't care about the traffic. Slowly, I learned that the part of me that could look at the stone didn't have to care either, not in that consuming way. Over months, his rage lost its fuel. He was practicing samatha, calm abiding, using a visual anchor in the midst of chaos. This approach applies to internal visions as well. For some, closing the eyes brings up unsettling imagery, memory fragments, fears, chaotic shapes. With eyes open practice, you are not confronting these in a dark, boundless inner space. You are meeting them while anchored in the stable, present moment reality of the room around you. If a disturbing internal image arises, you can feel the fear while simultaneously seeing the solid, benign reality of the wall in front of you. You can literally look from the internal horror to the external, ordinary safety of your environment. This creates a critical neuroassociation: safety is here, in the present, in the visual world. The mind gradually learns it does not need to flee into traumatic pasts or fearful futures, it can rest in the safety of the scene now. Here is a metaphor I find useful. Imagine your reactive mind, with all its fears, angers, and cravings, is a powerful, tangled river current. Trying to stop it by force is impossible. Closing your eyes and hoping it goes away is like submerging yourself in it. Eyes open meditation offers you the riverbank. You step out of the current and sit on the stable ground. You can still see the turbulent water, you can hear its roar, but you are no longer being swept away by it. The riverbank is your soft gaze on the external, present moment world. It provides the stability from which you can observe the hindrances without drowning in them. The Buddha's path is about finding that riverbank, that place of observerhood, within all experience. Let's practice with a hindrance directly. Think of a minor, current annoyance. Perhaps a persistent noise, or a cluttered corner you keep meaning to clean. For the next minute, bring your soft gaze to that source of annoyance. If it's noise, look in its direction. See the space from which the sound emanates. If it's clutter, look at it with panoramic, non-judgmental awareness. As the feeling of irritation arises, note it as feeling. See if you can hold both the visual field and the emotional feeling simultaneously, without letting the feeling dictate your relationship to what you see. You are not trying to like the clutter. You are practicing the freedom of seeing it without being bound by your dislike. Breathe. And watch. The object is there. The aversion is here. And you are the spacious awareness that contains both. This is the advanced curriculum of eyes open meditation, using the visible, tangible world as your anchor and your mirror, to understand and pacify the invisible storms of the mind. It is a fearless practice. It says, bring me your worry, your anger, your fear. I will meet it not in the dark of my imagination, but in the clear, stable light of this room, this moment. In doing so, you are walking the very path of the Buddha, who attained enlightenment not by shutting out the world, but by facing the full spectrum of human experience with unwavering, mindful attention. Let's proceed. We've navigated the storms. Now, let's explore the profound calm that exists on the other side of that skillful navigation. This is the domain of samadhi, deep, collected concentration, and panna, or wisdom, accessed through the gateway of sight. It's a common misconception that deep states of absorption require shutting down the senses. In the Buddhist tradition, particularly in the jhanas or meditative absorptions, the senses are pacified, but not always closed. One can enter a state of profound unity with a visual object. This is the potential of advanced eyes-open practice, a serene, luminous intimacy with the world as it is. Let's begin with light meditation. This practice uses the most fundamental visual phenomenon: light itself. Sit where light falls, sunlight through a window, lamplight on a surface, even the gentle glow of a screensaver. Adopt your softest gaze. Don't look at the source of the light. Look at the space illuminated by it. See the light as a substance, a presence that fills the air. Notice how it defines shapes but is itself shapeless. How it reveals color but is colorless. Your mind may try to analyze it. Instead, simply let your awareness merge with the phenomenon of illumination. Feel as if you are not just seeing light, but being seen by it, bathing in its silent intelligence. This practice can lead to a deep sense of brightness and clarity within the mind itself, a visual counterpart to the piti, rapture, and passaddhi, tranquility, of deeper meditation. From light, we move to nature gazing, but with a specific intention. Find a living, complex natural object, a tree, a flowering plant, a body of water. Your practice is not to look at it as a single, solid thing, but to see its interbeing. See how the tree is not separate from the sunlight on its leaves, the water in its roots, the air moving its branches. See it as a dynamic process, a verb disguised as a noun. See your own seeing as part of that process, the light reflecting from the tree entering your eye, the oxygen from its leaves entering your lungs. This soft, receptive gazing dismantles the illusion of separateness, the root of so much of our loneliness and fear. You are practicing the direct perception of paticca samuppada, dependent origination. You are seeing, not just thinking about, how all phenomena arise together in a web of mutual cause and condition. In this seeing, a deep, wordless peace arises, the peace of belonging to the whole. I will share a story of an architect, Cora, who suffered from a sense of profound disconnection. She designed spaces for living but felt she didn't inhabit her own life. Her practice became to sit in half-built construction sites, a hard hat on her lap, at the end of her day. She would gaze softly at the skeletal wooden frames against the twilight sky. I stopped seeing a building, she said. I started seeing relationships of support. The beam holding the joist. The space defined by the studs. The emptiness that would become a room. I saw how my design was just one note in a symphony of forces: gravity, material, light, human need. In that open-eyed contemplation of structure and space, her personal sense of isolation dissolved into the interconnected reality of the project. She didn't find peace by leaving her work, she found it by gazing into the heart of it with meditative eyes. Now, let's introduce a contemplative practice, gazing into essence. Choose a simple, mundane object from your home, a cup, a spoon, a book. Sit with it. First, see it conventionally, a cup for drinking. Then, let that concept fade. Gaze at it as pure form, curve, material. Then, let even that fade. In the softest gaze, contemplate, without its name, its function, its history with you, what is it? What is its essential, cupness, before all ideas? You are looking for the suchness of the cup, its tathata. This practice, done patiently, creates a profound gap between perception and conceptualization. The world begins to shed its labels and stand forth in its miraculous, ordinary reality. The mind grows still and amazed in this gap. The cup becomes the entire universe, expressing itself as cup. And in that realization, the seer and the seen begin to merge in a field of silent, aware presence. Here is a metaphor for this level of practice. Imagine consciousness is a vast, clear lake. Normally, the surface is choppy with the winds of thought, and we see only broken, distorted reflections of the world, our concepts, our stories. The initial soft gaze calms the surface into a smooth mirror, reflecting things clearly as they are. But in the deepest practice, we are invited to dive below the surface. We don't just see the reflection of the moon on the water, we sink into the water itself and discover the moon is within the water, and the water is within the moon. There is no separation. Eyes open meditation at this depth is that diving. You are not looking at the object, you are surrendering your awareness into the shared field of existence from which both the seer and the seen arise. It is a glimpse of sunyata, emptiness, not a void, but a fullness freed from the boundaries of separate things. Let's engage in a short exploration of this. Find a small object nearby. Hold it in your hand or place it before you. Look at it with your ordinary gaze for a few seconds. Now, soften your gaze immensely. Look as if you are seeing it for the first time in the history of the universe. Let all knowledge of it drop away. What is left? Is it shape? Is it color? Is it a play of light and shadow? Keep looking with this innocent, receptive attention. Don't answer the questions with words. Let the direct experience be the answer. Breathe. And see. This is the frontier where meditation becomes revelation. The Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree with eyes likely open, witnessing the morning star, and in that act of profound seeing, awoke. He did not awake from the world, he awoke to the true nature of the world. Your eyes open practice, nurtured from a simple soft gaze, can lead you to that same frontier. It teaches you that nirvana is not somewhere else. It is the peace and wisdom inherent in seeing this cup, this light, this tree, exactly as it is, without the veil of your personal wanting and fearing. Your vision, purified by mindfulness, becomes the vehicle for awakening. We have journeyed from the initial soft gaze to the panoramic view, through the navigation of hindrances, and into the deep, unitive states of calm and insight. Now, let's bring this practice full circle, back to the very heart of why the Buddha taught mindfulness in the first place, to end suffering and to cultivate a heart of boundless freedom and care. Eyes open meditation is not an isolated technique, it is a training ground for a new way of being in relationship, with yourself, with others, and with the fleeting, precious world around you. This brings us to the cultivation of the Brahma Viharas, the divine abodes, through the faculty of sight. These are metta, loving kindness, karuna, compassion, mudita, sympathetic joy, and upekkha, equanimity. Typically, we cultivate these by repeating phrases or visualizing beings. But they can be nurtured directly, powerfully, through how we choose to see. Begin with loving kindness gazing. Find a photograph of someone you love easily, a child, a partner, a pet. Place it before you. Soften your gaze. Look at the image, and instead of generating thoughts of love, simply allow your eyes to rest on the photograph with the most gentle, receptive quality you can muster. Let your looking itself be an act of kindness. Feel as if your gaze is a soft blanket, wrapping the image in warmth. Notice any urge to grasp or cling to the image. See that urge and soften your gaze even more, moving from clinging to a gentle, allowing presence. Now, shift to a mirror, and offer this same quality of gaze to your own reflection. You are not generating a feeling, you are allowing the natural, unobstructed quality of gentle seeing to be the metta itself. The eyes, when free from agenda, are inherently kind. Next, compassionate seeing. This practice is for when you witness suffering, either in person, in media, or in your own reflection. When you see pain in another's face, the instinct is to look away, to shut down, or to get lost in a story of pity. Instead, try this: hold a soft, steady gaze. Breathe. See the pain not as a story, but as a set of visual expressions, the tension around the eyes, the downturn of the mouth. Let your gaze be a silent, steady witness. Do not rush to fix it with your mind. By offering this stable, non-reactive presence through your eyes, you are holding space for suffering without being overwhelmed by it. This is karuna. It is the gaze of a doctor calmly assessing a wound, clear, present, and fundamentally geared toward healing, but rooted in calm discernment, not in panic. I remember a hospice nurse, Teresa, who shared her practice with me. She said the most draining part of her work was not the sadness, but the professional distance she felt she had to maintain. She began a practice of 3-breath seeing. Before entering a patient's room, she would pause, soften her gaze on the door handle, and set her intention: I will see this being for these next minutes. Inside, while taking a pulse or adjusting a pillow, she would, for 3 breaths, bring a truly soft, panoramic gaze to the patient's face or hands, seeing not a dying patient, but the profound, fragile reality of human form. She said this practice transformed her burnout into what she called sacred service. Her gaze became a vehicle for a love that was not personal, but universal. She was seeing, and in that clear seeing, offering the ultimate gift: recognition. Now, consider sympathetic joy gazing. This is the antidote to envy and comparison. On social media, or walking down a street, you see someone experiencing success, beauty, or joy. The habitual reaction is a subtle contraction: why not me? The practice is to soften your gaze on that person or image. Really look at the expression of joy. See it as a beautiful phenomenon, like a flower blooming. Appreciate it visually, aesthetically. Wish, silently, may this joy continue. You are training your mind to delight in the happiness of others as you would delight in a stunning piece of art. You are practicing mudita, and it liberates you from the prison of scarcity. Finally, equanimous seeing, which is the culmination of all our practice. This is the soft gaze meeting the ever-changing world without being pulled into its dramas. Practice this by watching something inherently transient, clouds moving, traffic flowing, people walking in a park. See them all with the same quality of open, gentle attention. The handsome person, the harried parent, the stray dog, all receive the same impartial gaze. You are not cold, you are profoundly fair. You are seeing the truth of anicca, impermanence, and offering it the space to be exactly as it is. This is upekkha. It is the gaze of the sky, holding both the dazzling sunset and the devastating storm with the same boundless space. Let me offer a final metaphor for this integrated way of seeing. Imagine your awareness is the lens of a master photographer's camera. Normally, the lens is smudged with the fingerprints of your desires, fears, and opinions. Every photo comes out distorted. The practice of soft gaze is cleaning the lens. Panoramic awareness is widening the angle. Navigating hindrances is learning to hold the camera steady in high wind. The deep practices of light and essence are adjusting the focus to reveal profound depth. And the cultivation of the Brahma Viharas? That is choosing what to point that clean, steady, wide, deep focus lens at, and with what heart. You choose to frame the world with kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity. The photograph that results is your life, lived in mindful relationship with all you see. This is the holistic promise of eyes-open meditation. It begins as a simple solution for restlessness but matures into a complete path of awakening. It trains you to meet the entire sensorium with wisdom and heart. You learn that every glance is an opportunity, to get lost in a story, or to awaken to reality. The choice is made in the split second when light hits your eye. Mindfulness is remembering you have that choice. Let's proceed. Our exploration has taken us from technique to philosophy, from managing hindrances to cultivating divine states. Now, let's address the practical architecture of a life supported by this practice. How do we build a sustainable, eyes-open meditation habit? How do we move from inspired listening to embodied, daily living? This is the path of integration, where practice ceases to be something you do and becomes the way you are, awake, and visually engaged with the world. We begin with ritualizing the gaze. Your environment is not a passive backdrop, it is your partner in practice. Create a simple, designated, seeing spot. It doesn't need to be an altar. It could be a specific chair, a corner of a room, a spot by a window. The only requirement is that when you sit there, your intention is to see mindfully. Perhaps you place a single object there, a stone, a vase, a plant, that serves as your initial soft gaze anchor. Over time, simply arriving at that spot will trigger a physiological shift. Your eyes will naturally soften, your breath will begin to settle. This ritual leverages the power of association, a principle understood in Buddhist monasteries where specific halls are used for specific practices, conditioning the mind to enter a state of calm upon entry. Next, consider the first and last gaze of the day. Before you reach for your phone in the morning, take 30 seconds. While still lying in bed, let your eyes open softly. Gaze at the ceiling, the morning light on the wall, the blurry shapes of your room. Don't label or plan. Just receive the visual world as it introduces itself to you anew. This sets a tone of receptivity for the day. At night, as you lie down to sleep, repeat the practice. Let the last act of your waking mind be one of soft, non-analytical seeing. This bookends your day in mindfulness, anchoring your consciousness in the sensory present, not the conceptual past or future. We must also talk about digital sight, which for most of us is a dominant visual experience. The screen is designed to hijack attention with rapid change and compelling content. Your practice here is to insert moments of conscious buffer gazing. Before opening an email or a social media app, pause for 3 breaths. Look at the black screen, or your desktop wallpaper, with a soft gaze. See the pixels, the light, as pure phenomenon. Set the intention, I will see this next content with mindfulness. After closing an app, don't immediately jump to the next thing. Look up. Gaze softly at the farthest point you can see out a window, allowing your eyes to literally change focal length and your mind to reset. This creates a sanctuary of awareness between the digital torrents. I want to share the story of Leo, a retired engineer who felt his life had lost structure and meaning. His days blurred together. He began a practice he called the daily capture. He would take 1 photograph a day with his phone. But the rule was not to chase beauty. He had to sit in one spot for 5 minutes first, practicing panoramic soft gaze. Then, he would raise the camera and frame a single, ordinary detail his meditative gaze had rested upon. A crack in the sidewalk, the way light hit a kitchen spoon, the pattern of rain on a garbage can lid. This practice forced him into daily eyes-open meditation and transformed his way of seeing. He reported, I stopped seeing a boring world. I started seeing infinite compositions of light and form. My entire sense of beauty and interest was rewired. He was practicing chanda, or wise desire, directing his interests skillfully, rather than being driven by tanha, or craving, for stimulation. Now, let's discuss community and shared seeing. While meditation feels solitary, your practice exists in relationship. A powerful, simple practice with a partner, child, or friend is parallel gazing. Sit beside someone, both looking forward, not at each other. Set a timer for 3 to 5 minutes. Both practice soft gaze panoramic awareness on the same room or view. There's no need to talk about it afterward. The shared intention and silent, co-created field of visual mindfulness creates a profound, wordless bond. You are practicing Sangha, or spiritual community, in its most fundamental form, sharing the space of awake presence. For moments of high stress or emotional pain, develop a gaze refuge. This is a pre-selected visual anchor you can turn to anywhere. It might be the palm of your own hand. It might be the pattern of wood grain on your desk. It might be a small token you carry in your pocket. When overwhelmed, the instruction is simple. 1. Feel the feeling in your body. 2. Turn your soft gaze to your pre-selected refuge. 3. Breathe, and hold both the internal feeling and the external visual anchor in your awareness. This practice, rooted in the Buddha's teaching of finding a safe meditation object, Parikamma nimitta, prevents you from being completely consumed by the inner storm. It provides a visual lifeline back to the present. Here is a metaphor for this integrated life. Imagine your mind is a beautiful, wild garden. Traditional meditation is like carefully tending a single, pristine rose bed in a cleared corner. Eyes-open integration is learning to garden the entire landscape, the shady corners, the rocky patches, the wildflowers, and the weeds. You learn to appreciate the ecology of your entire experience. You don't just cultivate peace in isolation. You learn to find harmony within the whole, varied, messy, and glorious terrain of your life as it is seen, moment by moment. The practice is the continual act of gentle gardening with your attention. Let's engage in a final, integrative practice for this segment. Wherever you are, let this be your seeing spot for the next minute. Soften your gaze to its most panoramic, receptive state. See the room, the world outside the window, the space itself. Now, silently offer this quality of seeing as a gift. To yourself. To someone you love, imagining them receiving this gentle, steady gaze. To someone you find difficult. To the world at large. Let your eyes be the vehicle for an offering of silent, attentive presence. No words needed. Just see, and in the seeing, give. This is the heart of the matter. Your eyes are not just organs for navigation and consumption. They are portals for connection and portals for offering. When purified by mindfulness, your very sight becomes a blessing, first to yourself, and then, inevitably, to all that falls within your gaze. Let us conclude. We began with a simple, revolutionary idea, that peace does not require closing your eyes on the world. For many, that act feels like closing a door, only to find oneself locked inside with every restless thought and unresolved worry. We have journeyed together through an alternative path, one carved not through avoidance, but through a profound and gentle engagement with the act of seeing itself. This is the core wisdom we've explored. The Buddha's path of mindfulness is not about sensory withdrawal, but about sensory clarity. It is about placing a guard of wisdom at the very gates of your perception. When you practice with eyes open, you are stationing that guard at the most fundamental gate, sight. You are learning to meet the world not with reactive craving or aversion, but with sati, with mindful presence. You are practicing vipassana, clear seeing, in the most literal sense. From the first softening of the gaze to the panoramic embrace of your entire visual field, from using that stability to navigate emotional storms to cultivating boundless heart qualities through your very eyes, this practice is a complete training. It answers the ancient call to awaken here, in this world, not in some otherworldly realm. The metaphors we've invented, the sky-like awareness, the steady riverbank, the cleaned camera lens, the wild garden, all point to this same truth: you are not separate from what you see. Your freedom is found in transforming your relationship with it. The stories of Clara, Ben, David, Amir, Elena, Cora, Teresa, and Leo are not just anecdotes. They are modern sutras. They are living proof that the Dharma is not a relic, but a vibrant, adaptable teaching that meets human suffering precisely where it lives, in the anxious mind that fears the dark, in the angry heart triggered by traffic, in the lonely spirit feeling disconnected from life. Each story illustrates a principle. Grounding in the visual now, disarming aversion with observation, finding space in sky, meeting the self with compassion, seeing interbeing in structure, offering presence through the gaze, and rewiring perception through mindful attention. This practice is your invitation to become an artist of your own experience. Your medium is light, form, and color. Your canvas is your moment-to-moment awareness. Your brush is the soft, receptive quality of your attention. And the masterpiece you are creating is a life lived awake, a life where you are no longer buffeted by every passing sight, but where you can meet the breathtaking beauty and the heartbreaking pain of this world with a heart that is clear, stable, and kind. So, let your practice begin, and let it never end. Let it be there in your first waking glance at the ceiling. In the soft gaze upon a colleague's face in a meeting. In the panoramic taking in of the sky when you feel overwhelmed. In the steady, compassionate look at your own reflection. In the silent, shared gaze with a loved one. You are not practicing to get better at meditation. You are practicing to remember your innate capacity to be free, right here, in the vivid, ever-changing, luminous world that is always already before your eyes. Welcome to this way of seeing. Welcome to this way of being. Welcome to Monk's Temple.